Happy Friday. It is time for Friday Reads. And I'm Linda, and this is Lilybugs Library. And my Friday Reads this week is pretty short, only 2 books besides my 5-star read, which I put in Book of the Week. So it won't take long. But the first one was the second in the Cat and the Stacks mysteries, which I did the first one a couple of years ago and just couldn't seem to get back to it. But I did finally do the second one. So it was called Classified as Murder. And it's about Charlie, who's a librarian, and his cat Diesel, who's a Maine Coon cat, and the mysteries that they get involved in. So in this one, there's a man who's kind of a collector of rare books, and his name's James Delacourt. So he asked Charlie to go to his house and put his books all in order and, make notes about where they are in the bookcases and, things like this, because he's afraid that some are missing. And he has a very nasty family who's really just waiting for the man to die. So he's very interested in who might be stealing from him. So Charlie and Diesel go to look into this and, go home for lunch and come back, and the man is dead. So it's up to them to figure out what exactly happened in between the time they started and the time they came back from lunch. So it's very good. Good characterization. Love Diesel. He's very, very sweet and just... I could just picture him as a Maine Coon cat. I mean, they're big and fluffy, and they are very vocal. So, it's fun with that. It had a lot of his son in it as well, not Diesel's, Charlie's, and so that was a little different. And kind of more that Charlie could talk things over with his son instead of just with Diesel, so that was good as well. But anyway, I thought it was good. Solid read, but I would give it 3 stars. And so the next one that I read was The Memory Collectors, and that was a totally different one for me. That was, I guess you'd call it fantasy. It was about these people who had some kind of trauma in their past, and there's they can go through this new technology and they can spend an hour in the past, and the technology is just trying to get worked out so they can kind of put you near whatever you want. They don't necessarily know where exactly you'll come out. They could kind of estimate it, but they're not perfect at it. So there's a few different ones that are in California where this place is, and they want to go back an hour in time. So there's Elizabeth, who wants another hour with her son because he died in a senseless accident. There's Andy, who's he had this whirlwind romance, and the girl disappeared, and he wants to know why, what happened. And then there's Logan, who has always been into extreme sports. He would surf and mountain climb and do all these things, and he ended up in a wheelchair, and so he wants to go back and look for an hour of relief from everything that's happened. And then there's Brooke, who did something she considers unforgivable, and she wants an hour in the past to just get relief from the guilt that she's feeling. That's her hope. So they go into this time travel invention that Mark Saunders has made, and they have picked just supposedly random people, and they put them all through this 60 minutes. And so it's what happens to them during that 60 minutes and whether any of those people have some kind of relationship they don't even know about. So it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. Makes you think, what would you go back to? What would you do? Would it be something you'd like to go back and, not necessarily change? You could, but that could affect things. But is there something you'd like to go back and relive? Is there like a happy moment? Is there a sad moment? Do you want to, see someone who's no longer with us? So it does get you thinking for sure. So that one I would give a 4 out of 5. So those are the books that I read last week. Still have a few on the go. I'm hoping to finish them over the next few days. We'll see how it goes. We're going away on Saturday on just a little day trip, so that kind of takes care of Saturday. So we'll see how much I get done. A couple of them are library books, so I need to get them finished because I may not be able to renew them. So I will work at that. In the meantime, I hope everybody has a nice weekend. It's not incredibly nice here at the moment. It's very gray and not very warm, so I don't know what's going to come of that. But I do know Hurricane Erin, I think, is supposed to kind of not hit us, but pass by us. So that might be making things look a little bit dull out. I'm not sure. All right, so hope you have a nice weekend, and I will talk to you next week. All right, bye-bye.